Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel again, and thank you for for taking the time to view. I think we bring a lot of problems onto ourselves. Um, Even in our own countries, many people they attract trouble to themselves. This problem here in Mindanao, in the south of Mindanao, or unless you've lived under a rock for a considerable amount of time, we all know it's dangerous in southern Mindanao, or can be dangerous, put it that way. Here in the north, where I am, in Dipolog, it's very safe. Yes, there was a kidnapping a while ago, involving a guy. I don't know how many years ago it was actually. I think it was just before I came here, and I've been here for 7 years, so I think it was a little bit, before that. But in general, since I've been here, I haven't seen or witnessed any problems whatsoever. I really haven't. I haven't even seen Filipinos fighting Filipinos. What I have seen here is foreigners fighting foreigners. I have seen that. Once, I saw that once, and that was in Dipolog City. There used to be a bar, I can't remember, Chinese cuisine, I think it used to be called, and then it changed its name to Scooters, I believe. And many foreigners used to congregate there at the weekends. And when it changed to Scooters, it was owned by a British guy. And every weekend, Saturdays and so, I think Fridays and Saturdays, I'm not sure about the Sundays, but I know for certain on Saturdays, all of the foreigners would meet, all from all different nationalities, and they would start drinking, and then something would come up about their country, and one would say, well, my country is better than your country, my country is bigger than your country, and it would get out of hand. I was there once or twice, and the time that I think it was the second time I was there actually, and a fight broke out between, I think it was a German guy, and I think it was an American guy or an Australian guy, I can't remember. And Filipinos were breaking the fight up. And the fight went out onto the street. Out onto the street. And what does that give the Filipinos the impression of us? Many people are very quick to condone fighting in the Philippines, like dangerous fighting, fighting where it involves fists and things like this, and knives and guns and shootings and stuff. But I haven't witnessed any of that. It does go on, yes, of course it goes on. The Philippines can be a dangerous place if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time and you're doing the wrong thing. The same as anywhere, guys, and you know that. You foreigners will also know that. England today, there is going to be a big protest between the extreme left and the extreme right. I just don't know what the world is going to. I really don't. But I'm pleased I'm here, regardless of what's just recently happened just over a week ago. That was definitely, I think, an isolated case. I'm not a detective, guys, so it's just what I'm assuming. It was an isolated case because of what was happening, marrying a Muslim lady, maybe taking live streams of her not wearing a headdress and not wearing his top, and lending money on that 5-6 basis. You lend 5,000 and you get 6,000 back. That's 20%, and that is totally against that culture. And obviously the police told him not to be there, and he still stayed there. It's a shame, really. It's a shame. Many people think that the bloke, this Elliot Eastman, many people think it was his own fault. Well, perhaps it was his own fault, but nevertheless, it's still a terrible thing that's happened, And I wouldn't wish that on anybody, even on a worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that, whether it being their fault or not. But also, guys, getting back to foreigners, causing problems here. Like I said, there was that big fight, and they were rolling around in the street, and Filipinos were breaking it up. So some of us are the first to say the Filipinos have do this and Filipinos are that. Well, no, I've not experienced that. Yes, you get the odd one of anything that could be a bit bad-tempered and want to start trouble with you, especially when, you've got to think about, what we do. We come over here, we have the pick of the bunch of the women because, perhaps we can give that woman, a better chance. I don't know, a bit of, financial, security. But nevertheless, so some Filipinos hold a grudge against that, so we got to not draw attention to ourselves by fighting each other, which is what we do. I've seen it myself, and I have seen some vlogs as well where Filipinos were fighting amongst themselves and things like this. It's absolutely terrible, and it's pitiful. It's pitiful. This is their country, and we will never be Filipino. Doesn't matter how long we've been here, we will never be Filipino. We will always stand out, and everything that we do is watched. I know for a fact. Everything that we do in these barangays, maybe not so much in the cities, I don't know, but here in the provinces, everything that we do is watched. How we treat others, how we are treating our wife and our family here, how we are treating our in-laws, everything is watched. And Filipinos, don't forget. So we could upset a Filipino. I never have. And thank goodness I've never been in a position where I would even want to do that. I surely wouldn't want to do that. But if you did, they do not forget. And you can apologize and apologize. Hopefully they will accept that apology. But if you belittle them in front of their friends by shouting at them, raising your voice to them, telling them to stop the noise or the videos or having a go about the dogs and things like this, that will get their back up. I'm telling you, it would. Put it this way, right? If you was living in your country, and let's just say, a foreigner was living next door to you, and they'd only been there a few years or 5 years, 10 years even. Now, you become very patriotic when that person beside you, that foreigner who lives in your country, started telling you to do things like turn the music down, keep your dog quiet. We would take umbrage towards that and think, who are you talking to? Why are you saying that? This is my country. I'll do what I want. If you don't like it, go back to your own country. This is how we should think here. Because it's exactly the same. It's just the shoe is on the other foot because we are here. It's just my advice, people. Just my advice is not to go around upsetting anybody. If you're in a dangerous place, anything like that, regardless, it doesn't matter. Even if you're in a safe place, it just takes a few wrong words to cause animosity. And like I said, they don't forget. And you got to also think here, life is very cheap. Life is very cheap in the Philippines. Take that into consideration, people. Really, take that into consideration. I love it here. I've never ever felt any animosity. I've never felt any bad feeling towards any Filipinos, and I think they haven't felt any bad feeling towards me. I get invited to many parties that goes on here with the local people, birthday parties, fiestas, even and this might sound a bit morbid, but even to funerals with people I don't really know, and they said, friend, please come along, pay your respects. And although I don't want to, I go there briefly just to pay my respects, and then I disappear. Because I've also observed here as well that if they invite you somewhere or they invite you to have a shot, a drink, they call it a shot friend shot. And if you don't, I'm not saying you should take a drink, but I mean, if you say no, I can't, I'm busy, I'm doing that, they take a little bit of umbrage to that. I think they get slightly offended by that. I mean, if you don't drink, then you don't drink. I'm sorry, my friend, I don't drink. Like I'll have a soft drink or something if you've got one there. But if you say no, 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 thank you, then I'm telling you, really, guys. And if there's some foreigners here, and perhaps they've experienced that, they do take that offensive because they are being kind, offering you, and that's just how they are here. It's not a bad thing. I get drunk here many times with the local people, unintentionally, because I come in here with my motorcycle and my neighbour here, Jun, good guy, really good guy. And he said, shots. Oh, God. Okay, one. I'll have one. And say, one more. Oh, my goodness. And then one more. Of course, I get into the moment then. And then I'm there. But my wife is perfectly fine with that. Because I'm local. I'm drinking with the local people. And never any trouble whatsoever. Honestly, guys, I've never had any trouble. I love it here. I truly, truly do love it here. Many, vloggers are cussing the Philippines, and I wouldn't go here, and I wouldn't go there, and I get out of here, and I get out of there. If you're in a dangerous part, then yes, and I mean, in the beginning, why would you want to go to a dangerous part of the Philippines to begin with? I certainly wouldn't. And this is not dangerous, guys, really, honestly. Dipolog City is not dangerous. It's very foreigner friendly. And now, they've been investing a lot of money into the infrastructure here. And it's become a very, very good, low-key tourist place. Not like Boracay, not like Cebu and places like that, of course not. Or not yet anyway. But soon maybe it will. They've got a lot of attractions that have been built now, and there is a lot of foreigners here. Like I said to you before, I don't mix with the foreigners since that event. And that was before COVID-19, that last event when they were fighting each other. But I don't mix, many people like that. Many foreigners like to mix with the foreigners here. The way that I see that is, why would you come here to mix with foreigners? To actually spend all your time with foreigners. Meet them every morning, meet them every night, whatever you're doing. Instead of enjoying the local, the beauty that is here, in the local traditions that are here. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to fit in. You're not going to fit in. Maybe you don't want to do that, and maybe you don't want to fit in, but then what's the point in being here? What's the point? You've got to be happy where you are. I'm definitely happy where I am. And anybody who was wanting to come here, don't let that isolated incident that happened just over a week ago put you off, because like I said, that was an isolated incident. Truly, it was an isolated incident, and it wasn't any, it wasn't the Abu Sayyaf. Well, that's what the police say. I don't say that. That's what the police say. So I'm just relating that on here. Again, I'm not a detective. I don't know 100%, but it wasn't a kidnapping as such. There's been no demands of any financial, wanting. So it's just an abduction. I hope the guy's all right. I got my doubts. I don't know. I hope and pray he's all right. I hope and pray he's all right, and it's a happy ending. But somehow, I think in my heart of hearts, I don't think it's going to be. But possibly it is. Let's keep our fingers crossed, eh? But, going into these kind of communities like he went, I don't know any foreigner that's done that. I really don't. And the police were first on his case, telling him to actually, think about getting out of there. But he didn't. Perhaps he thought he was a pioneer, being the first foreigner to actually stay in a community like that. And I think maybe if we did stay in that community and did bide by the their traditions and their ways, maybe this wouldn't have happened to him. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm just saying. It's just a terrible thing because it's brought a lot of bad into Mindanao. Like a lot of foreigners are saying that this is a bad thing, and yes, it is a bad thing, but it's a bad thing because of where he was and the things he was doing and everything like that. Anyway, let's not go on about that no more. It's all over the internet and stuff like that. So yeah, guys, whoever's thinking of coming here, retiring here, or even coming for a vacation, don't let it put you off, because it is a beautiful place. And there are some beautiful islands here. And people say to me sometimes, some of the bad comments or that I got last weekend, why do you want to be in Mindanao? Well, I've been here now for 7 years and I've never experienced any trouble whatsoever. I'm sure if I went to different parts of Mindanao, maybe I would. But I don't go down to Zamboanga or anywhere like. I basically stay where I'm at. And if I want to go somewhere, I'll go to Cebu, which is not far from here at all. And I do a lot of fishing, so I go to, and it's all in this vicinity. I go to Dapitan, Kalunkani, what's the other places? Tagalo, Sawang, Sibutad, which is all in this area. And I go there on my own. I've never met anyone who wants to give me trouble. They are all fascinated that I go out on my pump boat on my own. And they all know me around there, and they, sir, no, I'm not sir, this friend, or Stephen, I haven't been knighted by the Queen, I'm no better than you, you're no better than me, we aren't above each other, we are all equal. And I've had some good old times with some guys down there, with the local guys on the beach, having a few drinks, and some of the fish that we've caught, we've cooked it on the beach, catch and cook, and a few drinks, and barbecue, fire on the beach, and drinks, and it's turned out to be some bloody good sessions I've had down there. So I've never had a bad time here, guys. I really haven't. And like people say, Mindanao is the red zone. I don't know. Down there it is. Yeah, of course it is. But here, it's certainly not a red zone. The problems that happen here is normally amongst Filipinos, amongst themselves. But again, I've never known it here, where I am. But the problems that do happen, the killings, is normally amongst themselves. But I've never known it against any foreigners here where I am. And sorry for the coughing. I've got a cold coming, I think. I think it's with this weather. Also, there's some foreigners that have been living in Dipolog for much longer than I have. Some have been living there for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. There was a guy who died here recently. He'd been here for 35 years. Never had any trouble. Never. He was well liked by the local people. And his funeral, apparently, this foreigner's funeral, there were so many Filipinos went to the funeral to pay their last respects. So that tells you a lot, doesn't it? I think if I died in England, I don't think there would be a lot of people coming to pay their last respects to me. Because, friends are far few and in between. Here, I've made a lot of friends. And, perhaps you're thinking friends because of financial. No, because I haven't got a lot of money, things like that. I've got enough for me and my family. Sometimes if I got a little bit extra, I go and have a drink and I buy some people drinks here as well. I don't mind that. But it's certainly not for financial gain, the friends I got, because we are all in the same situation here. We are all in the same situation. And we share things. What I have growing, I give, and what they have growing, they give, and the bananas that they grow, they give some. The fruit that they have, they give some. It's all free. It's a brilliant society here. It's a brilliant society where I am here. It's a good place to be. So guys, don't let it put you off. This incident has been really took out of proportion. If it was the Abu Sayyaf, totally different. It's a bit different. but it wasn't his isolated case because of what was going on. So guys, listen, that's it. Thank you. It's Saturday. Time is it now? I don't know. It's Saturday afternoon sometime. So I'm going to post this in about half an hour. Thank you for your subscriptions, guys. I really do appreciate it, and the likes and the notifications that I know you've been getting, because it says views through notifications. And share the video, guys. Please share the video. Thank you so much, people. Take good care, and God bless you wherever you are. Bye bye.